Winter in the Great Lakes was once a season of transformation, lakes frozen solid, ice shanties scattered across the horizon, and a deep, cleansing cold. But that winter is vanishing. The region's defining cold is slipping away, replaced by shorter, warmer seasons and unreliable ice. This isn't just about losing a few days of skiing, it's about the fundamental reshaping of a massive ecosystem that millions depend on. The Great Lakes, holding 1/5 of the world's surface fresh water, have always relied on winter as a season of reset. Thick ice protected shorelines, calmed waves, and set the stage for spring's burst of life. Now, that guarantee is gone. The ice, when it forms, is thin and fleeting. The change is subtle but profound, felt in the stories of ice fishermen, in the data, and in the mild air of January days that should be biting cold. The Great Lakes are a barometer for the planet's health, and right now, they're signaling a fever. Vanishing winters are a symptom of a climate altered by human activity. Understanding what we're losing is the first step toward grasping the gravity of the situation. This is a story of loss and change, of how nature and people adapt, or fail to adapt, to a new reality. The impacts ripple from plankton to lake trout, from local economies to family traditions. This essay explores the deep connections between winter and the Great Lakes. We'll look at what's happening, why it matters, and what the future might hold for these magnificent waters in a world with less and less ice. The story of the Great Lakes' vanishing winters is unfolding now. For generations, winter in the Great Lakes was an architect, building a shield of ice across Superior, Michigan, Huron, Erie, and Ontario. This ice wasn't just a spectacle, it was vital. It capped the lakes, preventing massive water loss to evaporation and maintaining water levels. Shorefast ice protected coastlines from punishing winter storms, acting as a free natural barrier. The cold killed off invasive species and pests, resetting the ecosystem each year. Snow melted slowly in spring, replenishing rivers and wetlands and supporting fish like trout and salmon. Winter was the quiet partner to spring's vibrancy. For people, it shaped identity and culture. Ice fishing, winter carnivals, and skating on frozen ponds were annual rituals. These traditions built resilience and a sense of place. The dependable freeze was the bedrock of life around the lakes. Now, that foundation is cracking. The loss of reliable ice threatens not just the environment but the culture and economy built upon it. The Great Lakes winter shield is fading, and with it, a way of life. The region's identity is being reshaped by the warming world. The consequences reach far beyond the shoreline. The data is clear. The Great Lakes region is warming, especially in winter. What was once a reliable season of deep cold is now shorter and unpredictable. Hard freezes come later, thaws arrive earlier, and temperature swings are common even in January. Ice cover has dropped by about 5% per decade since the 1970s. Today, there's roughly 25% less ice than 50 years ago. Some lakes, like Superior, are changing fastest, with warmer summers making winter ice even less likely. Snow is changing too, more often falling as rain or heavy, wet snow instead of the light powder of colder winters. Lake effect rain is replacing lake effect snow, altering the region's water cycle. Rapid runoff from rain on unfrozen ground leads to flooding and pollution in the lakes. These changes are no longer subtle. Ice fishing seasons are delayed or canceled, ski hills struggle, and maple syrup producers face unpredictable seasons. The sounds and smells of winter are different. The deep silence and crisp air are replaced by melting and dampness. The very nature of winter is being transformed. People notice it in their daily lives. The Great Lakes winters are shrinking, and their character is changing. The transformation is undeniable. Less ice means more evaporation, trillions of gallons lost in low-ice winters. Lower lake levels follow, impacting shipping, marinas, and wetlands. Freighters must lighten loads, increasing costs and emissions. Marinas and docks require expensive dredging. Wetlands shrink, harming fish and wildlife. Without shore ice, winter storms batter coastlines, accelerating erosion and threatening homes, beaches, and infrastructure. Communities face mounting repair costs for damage once prevented by natural ice barriers. Warmer winters also change the lake's internal mixing, disrupting oxygen and nutrient cycles. This can create dead zones where fish can't survive. The lake's physical structure, their very metabolism, is being altered. The water's warmer, the cycle's disrupted. The the loss of winter ice is reshaping the Great Lakes from the top down. The consequences are cascading through the ecosystem. The lakes are changing before our eyes. Wildlife evolved to the rhythm of 4 seasons, with winter playing a crucial role. Snowshoe hares, once camouflaged in white, now stand out against bare ground, easy prey for predators. Small mammals lose the insulating snow layer, facing harsher conditions and population declines. Their decline ripples up the food chain, affecting predators and the entire ecosystem. Hibernators like bears and groundhogs are disrupted by midwinter thaws, emerging early and vulnerable. Moose face heat stress and parasite infestations. Migratory birds arrive out of sync with insect hatches, finding less food. The web of life, once woven by predictable seasons, is unraveling. Cold-water fish like lake trout and whitefish evolved in the deep, icy waters of the Great Lakes. Stable ice cover protected whitefish eggs from winter storms. Now, unreliable ice means more eggs are destroyed. Whitefish populations are declining, and fishermen see fewer fish in their nets. Warmer water invites new species like bass, which compete with and prey on native fish. The entire fish community is shifting, moving away from cold-water species. Even the base of the food web is changing. Key organisms like Diporrhea are vanishing, leaving fish with less nutritious food. The food web is being rewired from the bottom up. The changes are already here, not just predictions. The Great Lakes' iconic fisheries are at risk. The future of fishing is uncertain. The loss of winter ice is a direct blow to the region's economy and culture. Winter tourism, ice fishing, snowmobiling, skiing, supports countless small businesses. Unreliable ice means lost revenue, business closures, and economic hardship. Traditions built around winter, drilling holes in the ice, skating parties, snowmobile trails, are fading. The region's identity is eroding along with the ice. Unpredictable conditions create new dangers. People and vehicles fall through thin ice, and first responders face more rescue calls. Traditional knowledge about ice safety is no longer reliable. The human cost is measured in lost income, lost traditions, and lost lives. The changing winter is creating an unfamiliar landscape. The stakes are more than economic, they're cultural and personal. The science is clear. Greenhouse gases are warming the planet, and the Great Lakes region is especially sensitive in winter. Less snow and ice create a feedback loop, absorbing more heat and accelerating warming. Climate models project that, if emissions continue, winters will become dramatically shorter and warmer. By mid-century, southern Great Lakes winters could resemble those of the southern U.S. Reliable snowpack may vanish. Widespread ice cover could become rare. The lakes as we know them would be fundamentally transformed. These changes are not a natural cycle, they're a direct result of human activity. The future of Great Lakes winters depends on the choices we make now. The severity of change is in our hands. The time to act is now. The vanishing winters of the Great Lakes are not inevitable. The future depends on our choices, reducing greenhouse gas emissions, transitioning to clean energy, and building resilience in our communities. Restoring wetlands, managing fisheries for warmer waters, and updating infrastructure are all part of adapting. Individual actions matter, conserving energy, choosing sustainable options, and supporting environmental responsibility. Most importantly, we must become advocates for the lakes, raising awareness, supporting organizations, and demanding action from leaders. The Great Lakes are resilient but not invincible. The loss of winter is a warning, a symbol of a planet out of balance. Preserving winter means fighting for an ecosystem, a way of life, and a cultural heritage. The choices we make now will decide if future generations know the Great Lakes winter as a living season or just a story from the past. The quiet cold, the solid ice, and the deep snow are worth saving. The time to protect them is now.